gosh. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is a side of my house that I don't usually show because it is the most unfinished. This is a board and batten siding. It is extremely affordable and extremely easy to install. I'm installing this board and batten siding over OSB. As some of you may know, this is a renovation project. This is the original siding of this structure, and yeah, so they just painted the OSB and didn't bother to ever install siding. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. I've seen people put like rails over this and install siding out to like make it more breathable.
This is a great way to install this siding if it wasn't for...
So what are these things called? They're called plastic cap nail, 1 inch. So that's what I've been using.
Y'all may notice that I didn't use very many nails. I would recommend using them at least every like 2 to 3 feet, but I only had 7 left, so I had to make the most of it.
I'm gonna roll this back up so it's easier to handle with one person. There's a nail sticking out. Alright, so I'm just gonna, all I need is that first nail in. This is pretty adequate overhang. I want, how tall are these? Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Ugh. And I want extra to go in the window. This window's coming back out. It's just tacked in right now. That's why it looks like crappy. First nail is just to hold it. Oh my gosh, I forgot to grab more nails. Perfect. I have flash and tape, so I can use that.
So this is what it looks like so far. Just gotta get that last strip.
Very important to get all that out of the way. These are very heavy windows. Okay. Just like that. Window lifts. Oh my gosh. If my phone does not fall. Wow, okay.
Installing vapor barriers is one of those things that's really easy if you have 2 people, but really annoying if you just have one. And this is an example of why.
Come on. No, don't do this to me. No. No, stop. Oh, I hate this little hammer. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh, I hate this little hammer so much. So I've already started. I pre-cut a bunch of my boards. So I just measured and cut these. And basically it's pretty simple. You literally just take your board, and I use screws. I was using nails out of a nail gun, but I ran out, and as long as you're getting your screw or your nail where the batten is going to cover. You don't want to screw or nail in the middle of your board because then you'll see that. This is a 1x. This is actually what the window is going to sit on. So I'm going to screw this down. I want it to be as flush with this siding as possible. Now I'm going to loosen this one a little bit and tighten this one and then tighten this one again. I broke my finger, but here like this. Okay, I'm not going to screw it in yet. Bruh. Oh.
So when I'm installing trim around my windows, I like to start with the bottom of the trim. I don't really know the proper term, because I can then sit my other trim boards on top of it, and it makes it easier for me to get like accurate measurements. So I like to either start with the bottom or the top and work my way from there. My triangle windows were a little bit more tricky trying to figure out the trim, especially because of how high up they are. You know, I have to climb up these ladders, do a lot of adjusting, but I got it done. And I really wanted this trim to line up perfectly with the square windows beneath them, and that was kind of tricky because if I had ended the trim with a point, like a triangle, then they wouldn't line up. So I squared off the edges of the trim, and I actually think I like the way that that looks even better, so I'm really happy with it. I also went ahead and started to paint my windows. I'm using a Rust-Oleum primer here, a black primer specifically for plastic. Always prime your windows before you paint them. The reason I'm doing this before installing the trim is just because it makes my life easier. I have to tape off less stuff, and I don't really care about getting a little paint underneath the trim. But here's what it looks like kind of done. As you can see, the windows are looking a little rough as far as the paint on the glass, but I can go back and use a razor blade and clean that up later. But other than that, I'm really happy about the way that this turned out. One thing I don't usually show is sanding because it's just as enjoyable to watch as it is to do. But I figured I'd put it in this video because there was a lot of sanding involved with this trim.
Mud. Okay. Gonna put this one in. There we go.
So here I am ripping my battens and my trim. Most of these boards came in either 12 inches or 8 inches in width, so that doesn't really work for my battens and my trim. So here I'm ripping them to either 2 to 2.5 inches for the battens, and most of my trim is 6 inches in width.
Bruh. What? Yo, my paintbrush is frozen solid. Jeez. Is that my handle falling off?
Something I've been putting off for a long time is installing this bathroom window, but since I'm about to run my plumbing through here, it is time. So I did get very lucky and my window fell right in between the two existing studs. I had to put a like spacer board to center it, but other than that, it was a pretty simple, straightforward project. So this is kind of cool. It's like I'm so used to it not being like this, and now it's like this. So, yeah. I totally ran out of window like flashing tape, so I really just want to get this done, so I'm just using caulk and hopefully it will work. I can So since this window literally has no flashing or anything to screw in, I'm assuming that these like holes are pre-drilled to put screws in. I'm assuming because it's like drilled on this side and then there's like a little screw hole on the back. Alright, so I cleaned off the window and I can show y'all what I did outside. I have two more pieces of siding that I need to put on real quick. It won't take me but a minute. But what I've done here is I've added my window trim, and then here, if I slide anything. Oh, bad idea. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nothing to see there. Okay. So I've caulked all around this window in between these boards. I put a bead of caulk all the way down this, so it should be good to go. Y'all, so I like ran out of siding, so I'm just gonna like show y'all where I'm at. So I'm gonna do a full walk around of the outside of this house, Coming into the front, arguably the front of the house, I consider it the front of the house. As y'all can see, I have a couple battens left, but I just kind of want to get this video out because it's going to rain for a couple days. And here's a close-up of one of these battens. These are 2-inch battens. As you can see over here, here's what it looks like when it's done. I have a row over there, got to finish it over to the left. I'm going to come around to, I guess, arguably the other front side of my house. And this side is almost complete. I got most of the battens done. I have the trim done. This is probably the most complete side of my house. I'm going to step back for y'all, get a full shot of the house right here. I'm going to flip to the back side of the house. So on this side, yeah, I forgot to install those. So I'll probably do that right after I film this. Anyways, y'all might notice something different on this back side of the house. A little something bougie. And that would be these loft windows, the triangle windows. And also the trim around the windows. This was really important for me to just get done because that is a second checklist of things I have 100% done, which is installing windows. I'm so happy to be just done installing windows. And as y'all can see, there's a couple battens on this side. I really didn't do much other than those windows, but y'all can see a little bit more of those battens on the, again, arguably front side of my house over here. I have 2 left. I just ran out. So here's a close-up. These are 2.5-inch battens, a little bit wider than the back and front side of the house. And this ground is like really muddy, so I'm just trying to get another close-up. So yep, that's where I'm at. So that's going to be all for this video. I hope this video was entertaining and educational. And if you are doing board and batten siding on one of your projects, I hope that this video helped you out as well. And if you haven't already subscribed, doing that helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. But anyways, that's all, and I will see y'all in the next video.